Welcome back, everybody. Some more Carthage esports. Carthage League of Legends, to be exact. Going to be here with my constant co-host, Tony. Tony, how's it going?
I'm tired, dude.
I'm tired.
Had some Chick-fil-A today. I was very excited about that. And now,
now you're ready for draft? Which
I'm
we're going to
ready
be
for
hopping
draft.
right into
I
here.
gotta wake up.
Oh, my goodness. Got a Soraka band here from O2. Do we know what the college is here that we're playing against today?
Ontario Tech.
Ontario Tech. Oh, my gosh. The Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love the good, friendly competition. Gonna have a little bit. So, as we saw, actually a little bit of a throwback to the games that we saw during. Is this also activation?
I think so.
More
Yeah.
activation gaming here. Some of the other games that we saw during last week's activation, seeing banning out of POC's champion pool. So we got the Lulu Soraka ban. We'll see if they continue in this direction. On the other side, we got a Vex and Jarvan ban. Jarvan, character that's actually extremely strong right now after the changes to Spear of Shojin and Gore Drinker. So,
oh, yeah. I mean, we saw how powerful he was last week. That was, and you called it early on. It's just like, it's going to be a problem. It was a huge problem.
Certainly. It's so good early game. You can do pretty much anything that you want with the character. It's just very good jack of all trades. Surprising Kindred ban here from Ontario Tech. But on the other side, Shyvana, very annoying champion to deal with. Not surprised they just opted to ban it out. And now Hecarim going to be the hover. Let's see if they actually go with it. Looking like they're going to be picking a jungler here on the first pick. Kind of interested to see. Rengar would be fun. Viego would be okay.
Viego?
Hecarim, very good blind pick. Just you are kind of setting your comp in a direction to go towards engage. You're going to want to go in with Hecarim. It's not going to be playing front to back. You're going to be, hey, I'm the big horse. I'm going to want to go to your back line. I'm going to get some kills. So kind of already showing what type of composition they're looking to get. But as far as counterpicking Hecarim or picking against it, it's really hard to find a good jungler into it, because even when you see these disengaged picks, like the Poppy, for example, or even Maokai, it still can be a little bit difficult to peel off Hecarim from your carries just because of how fast he can be and with that unstoppable ultimate.
Oh, most definitely. I do not like playing against Hecarim. I would have loved the Viego instead, but still, it's going to be fun.
Certainly, yeah. And Amumu is actually a decent pick here. It is something that Hecarim can kind of abuse early. Amumu does not have the strongest early game. It's definitely something that if you look to pick on it during its first clear, you can find some good advantages. But Janna also, this is a very good one too as far as stopping the Hecarim. Like I said before,
yeah.
As far as actual 1v1, it's really hard to choose something that's good into Hecarim, just because if he beats you, then he will beat you. He'll just chase you down.
Yep.
And if he loses to you, he can just run away. But with Amumu, there's something that if he goes in, then Amumu can just use his crowd control, stop him in his tracks, and the rest of the team can focus him down. Along with the Janna as well, another fantastic peel champion. It's going to be very hard for this Hecarim to get in.
Oh, most definitely. And especially with Janna having Ard just pushing him away. And hopefully we see the forecast skin for Janna. That'd be a lot of fun for that.
Lux going to be the counter pick. Decent into Janna and lane. But as far as the rest of the comp, it doesn't really do much for you. Now, Graves being hovered could be a mid lane pick here. That would be very interesting. Something that we've seen pro play a little bit. It's the champion just is able to push very easily. And now we see Xayah going to be picked up also. Not a great lane unless this Lux is going to be going to the mid lane. But it'll be interesting to see how they utilize this. It's pretty much only good into the Amumu, as we've talked about this 100 times before. Xayah loves playing into engage, wants people to walk into her. And that isn't really what this comp is looking to be doing so far. So I'm very interested to see what Carthage picks up for Fire here in the 80 carry role.
Yep, 4 seconds left. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Yon. There we are.
Assuming this Lux is mid, it's a good pick. But otherwise, it's not something that's great into what the composition you've been building is so far. With Janna, with Amumu, both kind of things that, especially into Hecarim, you kind of want to be sitting back, let them walk into you. Whereas with Yone, it's the complete opposite. You want to be finding angles to go in. You want to be sitting on a side lane, getting towers that way. And even into the, once again, into the champions that we've chose here, not fantastic into Lux, and just outright bad into Xayah, where she can use her ultimate Featherstorm to get away from your ultimate. It's kind of a meh pick, but I've seen Blitzkrieg really excel on these blind pick mids, so we'll see how the rest of the draft pans out here.
For sure. I'm kind of hoping for a Yasuo having both the brothers on one team. You haven't seen that yet.
Well, that would be interesting. It would also be bad.
No, it would be awesome.
We'd love to see it, though. I mean,
well, we got 2 airborne so far. 1 more airborne, and then
there's only 1 airborne.
Or is Janna?
Oh no, Yone, you're kind of
yeah.
Technically that could work. Oh, okay. So we're gonna see Gwen Fiora now getting the bans. 2 picks that we saw Actually, we saw just Fiora and Camille, was it the last game? Either way. 2 picks that Raymond the Go plays very well. It's 2 of his signatures. It's not surprised that we're going to be banning these 2. Also solid blind. The Fiora especially solid blind. Now we're just going to get the Aatrox though. Going to be saving the last pick here for Fyro actually. It's a more uncommon strategy than you usually see. Usually you want to save your last pick for one of the solo laners, whether it be top lane or mid lane, just so you can give them the counter pick and at least secure yourself one winning matchup on the red side.
And let's see what Terry's going to pick.
Just talking about otherwise Carthage's bans. 2 very solid bans here with the Renekton and the Mordekaiser, both very good blind picks. It makes a lot of sense, especially into Raymond the Go's champion pool. But now we're going to see a Pantheon. I'm interested to see whether this is going to go mid, top, or I mean even support. I guess it could.
Oh.
It looks like this is going to be a Pantheon top, Blitzcrank support, Lux mid. Okay.
Interesting.
Blitzcrank, very good pick here into the Janna. It's going to make that lane very difficult, especially with how much follow-up the Xayah has. The Xayah has all of a sudden gotten a lot of value as draft has gone on. And, of course, Pantheon does have a very good matchup into Aatrox. So, suddenly, Ontario's found themselves with 2 very good lanes. Just be interesting to see here, okay, going with the Kai'Sa. It's pretty much the only way you can save the draft with, I mean, Kai'Sa, extremely strong champion. You can play her multiple different ways. She's strong in all of her iterations. I'm most likely going to be seeing Kai'Sa going AP here, so going the more poke style. Just going to be, I mean, there's nothing that this comp can really do against AP Kai'Sa here, so she's just going to be looking to sit back, use those Ws, use the Void Seekers, that's what it's called, from range in order to chip them down until eventually they have to engage in, and then FIrebirds will try to make their play.
For sure, yeah. I do not like facing Kai'Sa and Aram. I think is it a 4-second cooldown if she does hit with the upgraded W? I
think it lowers. So each level that you put onto your W, it will lower the cooldown more and more depending on if you hit it. But it also has to be upgraded. So you need to put...
Oh, yeah. I mean just like in total, because I think it's only 2 seconds, Aram. I think it's just a little bit longer in...
Depending on what you build, you can get the W up to 4 seconds, I believe. So if you can start chaining them into each other where you can start hitting multiple in a row and proccing the passive plasma, the extra damage.
Which I always miss, so that doesn't have any worry for me.
I'm sure you will see more hitting in this game.
Oh, most definitely.
It'll be very interesting.
Well, what do you think so far, Jai? Who won draft here?
I think I'm going to give it to Ontario, actually, just right off the bat here. It's kind of hard to see how the Firebirds are going to be playing team fights. It looks like they want to go in now, but at the same time, it's like the Xayah definitely wants them to go in. She needs people to be running into her. And even though right now, how she's usually played, Kai'Sa can beat Xayah. Xayah does win the lane, and she has a support that is fantastic at pushing that advantage in the Blitzcrank against the Janna. It's a great counter pick. So I just think that Ontario has a lot more winning lanes and a lot more pressure to play off of with this Hecarim. I think it's going to be difficult to find good fights here for Firebirds.
For sure. And what would those good fights look like a little bit on in the mid game? How would they engage into this comp? I
think ideally the Firebirds don't really want to engage at all. I think that you want to wait until Ontario pulls the trigger, and then you can find your angle.
Okay.
Because if Yone goes in alone, he's going to die. And there isn't a ton of other engage off of that. Of course, there is the Amumu, but you need to find a good angle for that. So the keys for the Firebirds here are going to be finding really good flanks and using the Kai'Sa Void Seekers in order to poke them down before the fight starts, so you have that health advantage going in. On the other side, as far as what Ontario wants to do, they just want to force the issue. They want to find their pick, whether that be Blitzcrank getting a hook, whether that be Hecarim finding good ultimate, whether that be really anything, and then just snowballing from there, like just running over a team fight, ideally, is what they're going to do.
For sure.
But from what I've seen from Carthage, the other side of that is their side laning is much better. So the Aatrox and the Yone are going to be much harder to fight if they're just split pushing. So I think that's something that the Firebirds are going to try to focus on, are getting these two side lane threats in the Aatrox and the Yone ahead, and then from there, using that to kind of take control of the map and in turn take control of the game.
Sounds good. Well, I'll leave that to you, because the only thing I worry about really... Oh, I would say exactly what you said. Blitzcrank and Hecarim, I do not like facing those two. Is that, especially when I'm in the bot lane as a little support, I really do not appreciate them running over me. But I I see a lot of good things in the future as well. Like, I think Aatrox is going to do really good. I got high hopes for Kaisa as well, is that we see a lot of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Technique? Mechanics, I'd say, from every one of the Firebirds. But at the same time, we haven't seen Ontario, so I'm really excited, but scared.
Yeah. I mean, the more that I'm looking at this draft, it's like the harder it is for Ontario to team fight. It's really looking like this Amumu's going to have a ton of value once you get in the late game, as long as he doesn't fall behind. Just because the Hecarim it's going to be really difficult for the Hecarim or the Pantheon to go in with this combination of the Janna and the Amumu. So I think I might actually be switching. I think I might like the Firebirds draft better here.
I think I might have to stick with Ontario. I hate playing 3 of those champs against them, and I know how much value Zaya brings to the table. Yep. So I think I do have to go for Ontario with this, but I have a lot of hope for Firebirds as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of ways that the Firebirds could lose this game. This Hecarim has a lot of agency in the early game. He has a lot of lanes he's going to be able to gank, whether that be bot or top. I mean, Pantheon is excellent at setting up these ganks, especially when Aatrox, it's kind of hard for Aatrox to freeze the lane just because of the nature of his Q. And the Pantheon has a winning matchup, so you have to be very careful if you're ramming the goat in that top side, looking for this Pantheon to snowball that lead and start getting Drift Heralds, and then it's going to be real hard to side lane if all of a sudden you have a Pantheon or even like Lux ahead. It's going to be much harder just with the wave clear that you have. So, once again, could go either way. Slightly favor Carthage's draft here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'm kind of surprised we don't see Sejuani in this one, though.
Sejuani could be good, yeah. I could certainly see a Sejuani angle. But with that being said, going to be taking that 2 minutes and 40 seconds here. Set up that spectator delay. Be back after a quick break. See you then. All right, welcome back, everybody. Already got a kill here.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, very, very surprising. All right. I already see. Yeah, unfortunately, we did miss that one, but I also don't have a scoreboard here. But once that all gets set, then we'll actually be able to tell you what the heck happened. Gonna have both junglers here starting on the bottom side of the map, pathing towards top. They both want to get this lane ahead or prevent the opponent from getting it ahead. Pretty standard stuff. I mean, Hecarim's probably gonna clear a little bit faster than Amumu, so he'll definitely get first move. But on the other hand, then the Amumu will have the chance to impact the lane. So, gonna be interesting to see what kind of advantages that we get with these winning lanes that we've seen that Ontario's drafted so far.
You know, it'd be so cool if we had an instant replay button. Like watching the other series, I kind of want to see that.
It is. I mean, we might get one depending on if our scoreboard gets put up, but alas, doesn't matter. First mishook of the game. This is the tantalizing discussion and commentary that you get from the Carthage broadcast here. So far, though, it's going to be pretty stable up until, first gank here. But I think I agree with the game plans here of both teams. Just getting to the top lane first, trying to get this Aatrox to the Pantheon ahead. It's a very swingy lane, so any sort of outside help that this lane can get on both sides, whether it be the Pantheon or the Aatrox, could be huge. Because once this Aatrox hits 6, all of a sudden the Pantheon's going to have a really hard time. But if you can capitalize on that early gank stuff and pressure that Pantheon has for you, then you're set. So as you can already see, Amumu cutting that clear a little bit short to just get straight to this lane. I think that's a very good play here. Opting for the 5 camp instead of the full clear. I see some trading in mid, but now the gank comes through. Dark is definitely in trouble here, although Raymond could get traded back onto. 2 good flashes, but the stun comes through. Dragon Vessel looking like he's going to secure this one despite a spear. Although now we see Hecarim going to be catching Dragon Dusk out. He doesn't have the flash because he just used it to get away. Good play there by the FIrebirds to find a kill on the top side.
Yeah, that was really well done. And we still are a little bit at a gold deficit, looking around 500 gold just about, but that's all right very early on.
Indeed.
Hopefully we can... Oh, geez, that Blitzcrank's just hanging out right there.
Yep, it's good positioning there by the Blitzcrank. A lot of the time you want to try to play off the wave a little bit just because you can't hook through the minions. So sitting in these bushes, sitting off to the side is exactly where you're going to want to be. Just applying pressure, stopping the Firebirds bot lane from walking up.
Oh, and it looks like he's making his move a little bit. Blitzcrank is he going mid?
He's going to be going mid. It's a crashing wave, so what Blitzcrank's going to try to do here is trim the wave and find a nice little trade before he can freeze it. As I can see, Shivani gets a really good gank here. Raymond the Goat, no sums. This is definitely going to be looking like a kill here. If you can find it, there you go, Dark Moment finding a nice kill on Raymond the Goat. As you can see, that matchup's going to swing right back, as we're likely going to have a gold advantage not only in kills, but also through the CS.
So, Hecarim, is he going to be trying to target that top lane a little bit more than the other lanes, or what are we seeing?
I think what Hecarim's going to try to do is run around to as many lanes as he can and try to find as many kills as possible. The main advantage of Hecarim, not only does he clear quickly, but he can move around the map extremely fast. So he applies a lot of pressure, especially he does a lot of damage in the early game. So utilizing that early pressure, finding ways to get your lanes ahead, these winning lanes, as we talked about before, is exactly what you're going to be looking for to, find objectives later in the game, such as this dragon that spawned.
We see the scoreboard coming in and out. I think it was that Pantheon. Yeah, Pantheon getting a kill. Oh, on the Amumu, looks like.
Yeah, Pantheon must have found a multiple person engage. Good flash there by the Lux, just to evade that Amumu. The bandage toss. I was trying to think of the name, but I couldn't quite remember it. No, Blitzkrieg looking to find some good advantages here, though. He's got equal farm, equal health, and could look for a kill now that you see that flash expended from the Lux.
Yeah, just looking for a little good engage. Gets level 6 as quickly as he can, and then easy dub. Yep,
level 6 is definitely where you have to be careful if you are the Lux. Like, the amount of kill pressure you have from the Yone ultimate from Fate Sealed is immense. You have max health damage, and you're on top of them with the CC. It's exactly where you want to be.
For sure. Oh, and it looks like Lux just used her ult just to get a little bit of CS. And maybe missing a...
another gank could be coming through for Ontario. Could find it. Ooh, Onslaught of Shadows finds it. Dark in a moment, finding his 3rd kill of the game. And with a nearly 20 farm lead, this is huge for Ontario on the blue side here.
Oh, looks like
finding a great flash and exhaust here from the bot side of the Firebirds. And NECC Dragon of Dusk might be looking for a little bit of a cleanup kill. Got Fire walking forward, maybe baiting a little bit from Blue Neil, but now he sees it. Gonna get slowed from the Janna. Throwing out the bandage shots. He does find it under the turret. Does get a flash for his trouble. Good play there from Dragon of Dusk just to expend that extra summoner spell and put that extra pressure on the bot lane of Ontario.
I can't believe Fire got out of that. That was super close.
And definitely had some fancy feet using those summoners perfectly against the stun, against the ignite. I mean, very well played there by Carthage. And this is something that we've come to expect from them all season.
Especially mechanically, like they're really good at getting the. Oh, geez.
Good damage there.
That's a lot of damage.
She did just use her full combo. This isn't a terrible spot for Blitzkrieg to be in. He can absolutely find kills outside of that, but now Pocket away found in a very weird position here. Shivati with the ghost already popped. He's definitely going to find one or not. Great play there by Pocket, despite being in so much danger. Find that stun, and Dragon of Dust now might be able to pick up more. Now I'm just going to be walking away.
Yeah, just
oh my gosh, the Pantheon all comes in. A pseudo teleport already drops the ignite down. Raven the Goat might actually be in trouble. Still no flash, no ultimate to his name.
No.
This is definitely going to be a kill. Great hook on the other side as well. So you see Ontario all of a sudden making all of these great plays.
I wonder why they. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Raven the Goat just running for his life. He's going to try to eat over the wall. Yep. So just going to be wasting some time here. Will maybe actually get out. It looks like Pantheon, the Dark Moment's just going to be able to let him go. So very well played there by Raven the Goat to find himself out of this sticky situation. Yeah.
Very, very slippery. That was a good play.
Even with that bit of reprieve, still down 2,000 gold at 8 minutes. This is not the place you want to be, but this is actually what we talked about. This is what happens when you have those 3 winning lanes and the Hecarim, which has a little bit more pressure than Amumu. This is a very common thing that you'll see.
Yeah, but it's a really good thing that Pac didn't die right there in that team fight. I think like that was a sliver of health and just makes it a little bit easier for the Firebirds. Only going 3 and 4, only missing 1 kill. But geez, that Pantheon packs a punch already.
Oh yeah, he's been extremely accelerated. I think 60 CS at 8 minutes, very solid. 3 kills already to his name. It's going to be very difficult for him in the go to find anything in this lane going forward. He's just going to be trying to lose the lane gracefully from here on out.
For sure, but luckily he did use his ultimate, so we're not going to see that for a little while longer, so the other lanes can breathe a little bit more.
That's true. That's true. Definitely, despite the fact that Raymond the Goat did almost die there, it was a good thing that he did find his way out, because now the rest of the map is safe, and now this dragon will be a lot easier to pick up here for the Firebirds.
For sure. Let's hope everything goes according to plan. No steal there.
That looks like it. First dragon could be going to the Firebirds, and this is exactly what they want on the other side. As long as they can slow down this game and reach that point where the Yone and the Kai'Sa have their items, that is the point that you'll find a more even game, and that this draft will make more sense for the Firebirds. For
sure, that first strike definitely is going to help, but they still down by a little bit. And it looks like Hecarim is going over to go see Shelly.
Yep, definitely good play. Both teams are playing exactly according to plan. I mean, the Firebirds want to get, oh my gosh, great Hex Flash into the stun, into the knockup, into the root. Blue Neil finding his second kill of the game here. And Blitzcrank with an excellent play. Wow, it's exactly what you want. You're going to be playing out of vision, playing for those great hooks, and you found exactly what you're looking for there.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. I want to see.
And Blitzkrieg may be able to find something here. You still have the second advantage touch and a numbers advantage. The Lux hasn't quite rotated yet, although it looks like they want this fight. It does not look like Dragon of Dusk is as tanky as he wants to be. Shivati already finding one, but the onslaught shadow used. Flash expended. The Lux does come through, but it looks like Blitzkrieg using all of his cooldowns is going to get out of that one.
I'd be a little bit scared for Pac right here in this. Never mind, not anymore.
Yep, there's not enough numbers on the bot side to make a play onto her, so just a good thing. Sit there, use the shield on the turret, stop as many plays from being taken. As well, very good from Blitzkrieg, although he did have to use the summoner. So, once again, as we were talking about before, this is exactly what we were expecting. A lot of early pressure here from Ontario, and just seeing what the Firebirds could do to weather that until they find their break point.
Let's get
He does pop the world dive, but I don't think it's going to meet up. He flashes away. Flash match there by Pantheon. He is still under the turret, so it looks like they're able to turn this one back around. Great play from Dragon of Dust to find himself there. And 2 kills going inside of Carthage. Now Fire on the bot side trading back. But wow, very well played there by the jungler of the Firebirds. Dragon of Dust being at the right place at the right time.
No, you couldn't have said it better. That was the most perfect place at the most perfect time. What an engagement for that.
Yeah, just great awareness there to, from base, understand, okay, this top wave is stacking. This is something that Ontario is likely going to look for, especially with a Hecarim and a Pantheon on the top side. Very easy champions to dive turrets on. I mean, it's just fantastic awareness.
Yeah, that was awesome. Raymond the Goat backing out after that really, really nice play.
Yeah,
oh, jeez.
And you find a little bit more of even gold now. I mean, you were down 4,000 before, now you're down 3,000. Still a deficit, don't get me wrong, but you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot for the Firebirds. You outscale, and you're only down 3K gold. You have a dragon. You have all the conditions that you need so far.
For sure, yeah. Wish we can see when the next Drake's coming up. Relatively about like a minute 30 or 2 minutes, I'd say.
I believe it's 4 minutes after the last Drake was taken. I don't remember exactly. But gonna see now. It'll be interesting to see how they transition their game plan after that failed dive in the top lane. The Pantheon definitely wants to start moving around the map and using that advantage a little bit more, just because it does look like, despite the fact that Raymond the Goat was down a lot of CS before, he's kind of stabilized that. He's going to be about 10 down, so not nearly as much trouble. But I'm also interested to see how the Hecarim will continue to push this advantage against the Amumu, because as we saw before, Amumu does not have a lot of tank stats right now. He is down 2 levels, so this Hecarim has been farming very well. We'll see how they're able to transition that lead in particular going into the later stages of this game.
For sure. Raymond the Goat getting a little bit of poke on Pantheon, but he's still a menace. There's Shelly.
Yeah, they're going to see the Rift Herald be drop bot lane. This is a good set play here. Get the teleport coming down. I think that's a bad teleport, though, because now Raymond the Goat's kind of stuck here under this turret, and I don't think any play's going to happen. This is still going to crash, and they'll just get out with no real fights happening. Raymond the Goat is going to go to the wall. Going to get the engagement with the Hecarim now. World Thunder was popped. They're not going to be able to really find anything. Good engagement from Dragon of Dusk, finding 2-man stun. Blue Neil now popping the Featherstorm. Dragon of Dusk in a bad spot. 2 ultimates for 1 are traded, but ultimately Dragon of Dusk goes down. Another kill going to the side of Ontario, and a wave being pushed in on the top side. Very tough fight there to make work. They almost had the good angle, but unfortunately nobody could follow Dragon of Dusk onto the backline.
For sure, yeah. That Blitzcrank is Blitzcrank is a menace in this game.
Certainly good ultimate there, just to poke out.
Oh, jeez.
It certainly seemed tough, despite the fact that this Yone has a lot of kill pressure. It seems like Nami going in has had a lot of experience at this matchup just because of how well that she's been able to pressure the Yone's like summoner spells, for example, so that he isn't able to find a kill on her as easily.
For sure, yeah. Like hitting almost every single spell, it just, you never like going up against a Lux like that.
Blitzcrank now coming in. He does have a good angle here. Does miss the hook. Good sidestep there by Blitzcrank, trying to find something a little bit more. Just going to use that spirit, take it all the way back.
Getting that shield out of the way, and it looks like we're about to hit the 15-minute mark. We got the next drag up.
Yep, there we go. Back to, so we see, now what I was talking about before, Hecarim is going to be up nearly 40 CS. So a lot of gold there on that Hecarim against the Amumu. And also 2 levels up, a very similar thing to the bot lane where the Xayah has 2 levels. So it's not only the gold that's a problem here for the Firebirds, it's also the experience, because the more levels that you have a ton of base stats that way.
Yeah.
You see Dark Moment just taking a really good trade there, having a really good understanding of where the sweet spots are, exactly what Aatrox wants to do in this lane. And you're not going to find much more out of this Aatrox lane, I don't think. Just going to be a lot of back and forth, and Pantheon just kind of beating him up until you get more closer to mid-game.
For sure. Just trade after trade. Keep on staying alive. Ooh, dear.
Now you see the dive kind of coming in here. Onslaught of Shadows does go out.
Oh,
he
wow.
will find the solo kill here onto Raymond the Goat, but now you have 2 members of the Firebirds in the top side. But on the other side, you got Fyro. He's going to use the ultimate away. Killer Instinct does get him out of kill range. And now Blitzcrank with a really good teleport, making plays on the top side of the map, and now going straight back down to the bot side. He will not get rude. Does get knocked up, though. Had this Blitzcrank just solo killing Fyro. My goodness, what is that support damage now? We'll get a trade back onto, though. Blitzcrank gonna find this one. So 3 kills there for Blitzcrank in the matter of like a minute or 2. Very good map play there from the mid laner of Carthage.
That's gonna help, especially with all the bowling that Lux has been doing all game. So Blitzcrank definitely will enjoy that.
Most certainly, yeah. Not being able to step up the wave too much, getting bullied off some farm to now getting 2 kills here and 130 farm. Only 11 down. Very commendable there from Blitzcrank.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. So what are the Firebirds looking at right now? What is their their next goal that they need to try and go for to get some CS.
I think you got to be looking towards taking out that bot turret just to get that gold back, and then potentially making a play for this Rift Herald for committing into it. I think straight away going for this top play is very good, despite the fact that Raymond the Goat is still kind of getting beat up here in the top lane. He's going to be popping the World Ender. He actually thinks he has a kill, and he does have the people for it, so Dark Moment may be flashing away. He's going to be calling all this CC. He's going to be going down. Already big advantage here going to the side of Carthage for this fight. Onslaught of Shadows is going to multiple people, but it won't matter. They just have too many people. Fyro's taking down another one. Shivani's now in a bad spot. He's not even able to get the Scuttle Crab. And then we're going to get the Rift Herald too. Very well played there by the Firebirds. Just grab a numbers advantage right away and take that Scuttle. And I thought this. And the Rift Herald.
the big Scuttle.
The big Scuttle,
the big
yes,
purple
of course,
Scuttle.
of course, yes. Very weird there for Lux to be on the bot side of the map, though. She definitely should have been playing for the Rift Herald with the state of the game, with how the state of the game is, with how ahead Ontario is. They should have been playing for that fight. And the tower damage you're going to be getting here as Lux is just not really going to matter. So a little bit of a macro mistake that Carthage punishes beautifully.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to happen a little bit with CS-wise. We're still a little bit down, but now we're up in kills. We're 11-9, and it's looking really good.
Yes, it's much more even gold, even in Drags, and is even in Rift Heralds now as well. I'll be interested to see what they do with this and where exactly they put it.
I would put it right next to blue buff.
Blue buff. Why blue buff?
So they can be friends.
So they can be friends.
Yeah,
so
you
the
know?
Rift Herald and the blue buff can be friends. I mean, maybe.
Like, imagine that. Like, Rift Herald and Baron, they're just hanging out there. Like, they got no one to talk to all day until someone kills them.
That's true. It
Have
is
a
pretty
buddy.
messed up, actually. Oh, Fate's Seal's going through. No ultimate going to come through. The final spark there also not going to land on Blitzkrieg, but Shavati's going to find this one. Pick up a quick little kill and a shutdown for the Hecarim. 3, 4, and 4 now. 2 items, and Blue Nail, oh my goodness, as we were talking, Blue Nail going to find one back onto Fyro. He's had his number this game. This Blitzcrank has been finding Kaisa often.
Oh yeah, this Blitzcrank definitely knows what to do and has a really cool skin to back it up. Oh jeez.
Yeah, nearly stole that big raptor away, but Dragonet's going to be able to hang on to a little bit of CS here. Despite having 4 deaths, I mean, Shavati has been very effective during this game, although he might be biting off a little bit more than he can chew. No, Firebirds just going to be backing off this play. And man, a lot of CS here taken from the Amumu. It's been a very tough game here for Dragon at Dusk.
Yeah, most definitely. It's just a lot of these champs that Ontario's picking, it's just really annoying to deal with. Like, it's tough to find just a really good spot to go in. Oh!
Actually, just so much early pressure, and now you're going to find a lot of damage on Blitzkrieg, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to find the kill onto Nami going in, but now Raymond the Goat, unfortunately, finds himself between a rock and a hard place. He might actually get out with the movement speed, but no. Onslaught of Shadows going over the wall. Shavati picks up the 4th kill of the game.
Yeah, that's going to be a bummer, but still 12-12. We are, oh, geez. A little bit of CS there.
Just a little bit. I mean,
bit.
that is where you're getting the 6,000 gold difference here, along with those 3 turrets, those 4 turrets, I apologize, being taken. It's definitely going to be a struggle here to get this next dragon, just because of how much gold up Ontario is on Carthage.
Yeah.
Carthage is going to need to play very carefully, play a very clean team fight going into this next one.
And it hurts now that objective bounties are off, so even if you do capture some of these objectives, it's just not as much gold.
Yeah, it should come back, just because it's a 6,000 gold lead. It was only a 3,000 gold lead before with them. But it's going to be a tough fight. As we talked before, it can be a little awkward just because of how the Firebirds have these 2 modes that they want to play. It looks like they're just going to be giving no, playing for that mid lane. I think this is a fine decision.
Yeah.
You are going to be going down those turrets, dropping that Herald, just going to be playing for that mid lane. But this next fight, they will have time to walk back here after this dragon is done. So nothing is going to be gotten off of this Rift Herald here.
Yeah, it looks like setting up, just taking control of the area right now.
Ooh, just
hanging around.
Baiting a fight here. Seeing what they can do.
Ooh,
It looks like nobody knows what it is, but ooh, very good. Oh, now they're definitely in a bad spot here. 2 people hit with the final spark. Good engage there. Firebird the Goat, he's not going to fight too much. The Fate Seal is not going to fight anything either. Onslaught of Shadows finds 3. But my goodness, what is this damage coming out from the Zaya?
Wow.
They're going to clean them. A clean ace nearly. Will they be able to find the last 2? Good tornado here from Pac, but this Hecarim is too quick. He cleans up the fight, and that's going to be a Baron taken for Ontario. Disastrous decision there from the Firebirds.
That was such a bummer. Like, especially that Lux damage at the start. Like, that is a bummer. So what do the Firebirds need to do now to try and try and get something up.
Unfortunately, usually I would say, well, you just need to sit in the bush and hope that they walk into you. But as we saw, that doesn't work out. They have so many different ways to spot out these sneaky champions hiding in the bushes, whether it be the Lux E, whether it be with Blitzcrank just hooking it. They have so many ways to find out where the Firebirds are hiding. It's going to be very tough to kind of spring a trap onto Ontario here.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that you really can do is play towards these side lane threats. Even though you are behind a lot in gold, you still do have a Yone and an Aatrox that you can use to sit on these top and bot lanes, who both have their towers actually up. So it's going to be a lot of gold that's still on the map to be had for the Firebirds. There is still ways back into this game, despite a extremely difficult to overcome gold advantage that Ontario has here.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I do not like that, but keep your head on strong, and hopefully Firebirds will pull off a miracle.
Absolutely. They do have better scaling, so if anything, they do still have that to their name.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. All right. Well, we got a little bit of a spoiler here. Going right back to it.
That's the second time that's happened.
That is the second time, but let's act like we didn't see it.
I actually didn't.
They may have a 9,000 gold lead, but Ontario still could throw this lead. Carthage still has a way back in the game here. Ignore what you just saw. Carthage may have this. Oh, Pak is in a very difficult position. Oh, does get the Monsoon down. But Blitzcrank Cook just going to smack the Jan in the face to take her out. They're going to be looking for a clean end here. They're going to be playing on 2 waves as they are now. Just trying to push towards those inhibitors and eventually find enough threat on the base in order to end the game, which shouldn't be too difficult given the Baron Nashor buff.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
How dare you? During this
Chick-fil-A
incredible game.
Huh?
During this extreme game here, this wild game, how dare you yawn?
The Chick-fil-A.
The Chick-fil-A.
The Chick-fil-A.
That's honestly fair. It's going to be a struggle here for the Firebirds. Just going to be looking for a last stand. You do have the wave clear from the Static Shiv, but that's about it. Fyro is really the only person who can stop the army of minions that are going to be marching into the base of the Firebirds here very soon. It's going to be tough here, but it is still possible that Ontario makes a mistake.
Yeah, I had a little bit of hope. I just heard the Star Guardian theme, and,
that gives you hope?
That gives me hope, I think...
Lux could be in a tough position here. They might actually find it. Raymond the Goat setting that Infernal Chain a bit wide. The Ghost is now... I didn't realize Ghost on the Lux here might actually save her, funnily enough. Raymond the Goat missing that first one. And now he might actually die to the final spark. My goodness, that is a lot of damage on the Lux. And they're going to look to end this game now with the Firebirds out of position, trying to find that kill onto Nami going in. Taking that inhibitor, see what else they can find. Shavati using that movement speed bonus, trying to look, but ultimately just going to play it slow and smart, take the top side of the map, and then look for the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, this is just a bummer. But, it's okay. Only 11K gold deficit. We only 2 inhibs down. It could be 3.
So immediately 2 are taken out. This Hecarim has definitely found a way to get
we got
very
one
well
more
played.
left.
Dragon Dust going to be trying to make the play. Ultimately does find the shutdown onto the Amumu, but it will not matter. This game is going to be going to Ontario.
Here we go. Here comes the Goat.
The Goat making a heroic last stand, truly. Going to be rooted, though, and eventually taken out here. Trades another one. Amumu taking out 2 as he goes down. But at the end of the day, very, very clean end here from Ontario. Just a clean game in general. Using those early advantages, using those winning lanes to push for the victory.
What was the big thing that changed the tides? Because it was pretty neck and neck there for a minute in the early game. What really changed?
I think that the incremental advantages that are being gained by the winning lanes. So you already saw, outside of just the kills, the gold was very skewed.
Yeah.
And that was because of the CS advantages that were being able to have through the bot lane in particular and through the top lane. Now, bot lane wasn't too bad, but keep in mind, the Blitzcrank was finding hooks left and right. They found 3 kills, I believe, through hooks throughout the game, and the top lane was caved in by minute 1, unfortunately, to a Dragon Dust that invade that we didn't see. It's just a tough game. They need to play a little bit more slow and controlled with this type of comp. They need to play towards their side lanes, which we didn't even get to see them do just because of how ahead Ontario got.
Yeah. It was a fun game. It was a really fun game.
Indeed it was. Indeed it was. And well played to our Canadian counterparts here. Once again, very clean game. They played exactly what they needed to.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like our second game of the night is going to be at 9 p.m., so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited for that.
Absolutely. Always a good game. Do we know who we're playing? LBCC. IBCC? LBCC. All right, we got it. LBCC. We'll learn what that, if you want to learn what that stands for, tune in at 9 o'clock to see some more Carthage League of Legends. Of course, I'll be here. Tony will be here. We'll see you then.
I can see the light shining through my eyes. The sun has risen and set me free. I can see the light shining through my eyes. The sun has risen and set me free. I rose through the darkness, I'll never let